LOSV. So I'm just gonna jump right into this video, you guys. So I don't know if you have been keeping up with my house buying journey and our fence issues, because I told you guys we had some fence issues with our fence that we got installed. So I am about to give y'all an update of all updates, but I still have another update after this update because we are still in the middle of this. So to make a long story short, the city of which I live in is taking my husband and I to court over my fence. So I'm going to do a quick story time about this fence issue that we are having. If you do not know, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that like button to everybody. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button and become a part of the LOSV family. But let's go ahead and get into this. So if you are new here, I am a first-time homeowner and I live in a brand new community. Our house that we got was built from the ground up. The whole community was like, nothing was here. I was in the first phase of the whole community development, and once the first phase started getting built up, a lot of people came knocking on your door, asking you if you want a fence, if you want a water system, if you want security, if you want housekeeping, if you want, like, it's just so many different things. People came knocking on your door asking if you want to buy, you know, all of this stuff for your house. So we bid on the fence and the water system. So we got this amazing deal, fence and water system deal. We got this deal. So I don't know if I want to speak prices, but it was kind of expensive. So we got this fence and water deal. We're financing it, so we didn't pay like straight cash for it. It's financed. And one of the rules was you have to go through your HOA to get approved to get the fence set up. So we did that. We did everything that we were supposed to do. We put in the paperwork for the HOA, for the fence company to come out and do the fence. That's literally all we thought we had to do. The fence company said, that's all you have to do. Get approval from HOA and we'll handle the rest. So we let them do that. So I think they came to us in like May of last year, May of 2020. And our fence did not end up getting installed until, I want to say, maybe July. Yeah, it probably was around July of 2021. So May of 2021 is when we got the fence, when they came to us and we started the process. And then July is when I think the fence actually got installed. I'm gonna double check. I have a video, so y'all can check out the video of the fence being installed as well. So they came out, they installed the fence. I love the fence, even though there's kind of like gaps in between my fence. I'm gonna take y'all out there and show y'all what the fence looked like. I love the fence. It gives me like privacy. It's privacy. I feel protected. You know, I have my yard secluded. Like, you know, it's just like, I love having a fence around my property. And another reason why is because my yard backs up right to my neighbor's yard. So the back of my yard, since I'm on the corner, it's like goes right up to my neighbor's house, but it's right on the side of their house. So my backyard goes up to like their front door in the side of their house. I hate that. So I'm happy I have the fence to block that. So moving right along, we have had this fence since July. So we have had this fence since July and no issues. Here comes November, you guys. November, we get a letter in the mail from the city. And they say, you are in violation. Your fence has not had a permit, and you have to get a permit for your fence, or you are subjected to go to court, pay fines, and your fence can be taken down. I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? I send the information to the fence company. They're like, oh, we're going to take care of it, da 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 da. A couple of other people in my neighborhood that dealt with them as well had got the letter as well about the fence. So my neighbors, they just ended up paying a permit, because the fence company was supposed to pay the permit, They didn't feel like dealing with the drama, so they said, oh, we're just gonna go pay it and be done with it. It wasn't expensive for them. They was like, we're just gonna pay and be done with it if that's all they want. So with me, it was more to the issue. I'm on a corner lot, and there are certain rules that you have to follow with a fence for some reason, which I think the city is being really nitpicky and really being spiteful at this point. So the city sent us a letter and said that it's certain setbacks that the fence company has to follow, certain guidelines, since my house is on a corner lot. So I said, okay, you know, tell us what these guidelines is. So the fence and the company and the city are going back and forth, back and forth. They're handling it, and we're just sitting back waiting to see what's being said. So the fence company come back to me and say, okay, so we have to push your feet back, or your fence back, the front of your fence back 2 feet. I'm like, I don't understand why, because it's already back enough. You know, it shouldn't have to go back any further than what it, you know, what it needs to go back. And it was like, yeah, that's just what the city is saying, blah, blah, blah. We're going to take care of it. So that was in November. You guys, today, as I am making this video, it is April 11th. I have been trying to talk to these people. I've been going back and forth with the city and the fence company to make sure we all are on the same page. The fence company keep telling me, oh, we don't have installers to come out, so we're waiting to get installers, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. So I'm relaying that back to the city to make sure that we are on the same page, because the city, like, if y'all don't keep in contact with me, then we're taking you to court. Even though I feel like the city should take the fence company to court, because the fence company is the one that didn't do what they were supposed to do. We'll get into that though. So the last I talked to the fence company was the last I talked to the city and the fence company, where I actually had a conversation and we were waiting for something to get done, was in March. Now, it was right before my birthday, and the fence company was like, we're having somebody come out, blah, blah, blah. So then after my birthday, I get a letter in the mail from the city and says, we have to take you to court. We can't wait any longer for the fence company, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, so how are you taking me to court because the fence company is not doing what they're supposed to do? You should be taking the fence company to court, not me. Like, I am complying with everything y'all telling me to do. I don't understand why I have to go to court, pay fees, and be fined, and do all of this stuff. Like, y'all should put that on the fence company. Y'all know who this company is. Y'all have been communicating with them. Why is it that I have to go to court? Because it's my property. So once I got the letter that said I had to go to court, I went ahead and forwarded that to the fence company. We're going to come out and do everything we have to do, blah, 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 blah. I had to go to the city in person because I was on the phone with them, you know, for the last few months. I went to them in person. How can we handle this? What do we need to do? I said, what information do I need? I also stopped by the fence company first. I had to pull up on them in person as well, because they stopped answering my phone calls. They stopped responding to me, answering my phone calls, and everything. So I had to pull up on them. I pulled up on them, talked to somebody. They act like, oh, we're going to get this solved. We're going to get this fixed, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to the city, gave the city information that I had got from the fence company, and the city was just being so nasty that they was like, oh, your fence has to be moved back 20 feet from the back, from the front, and 20 feet from the side. Mind y'all, I live on a corner. So if you move my fence, my fence right now is like the whole side of my yard is, I will show y'all in the video. The whole side of my yard is basically, has my fences around it, and then like the back of my yard, the fences around it. So they telling me I have to move my fence in 20 feet from the side where the street is at, and move it 20 feet from the front of my property. 20 feet from the front of my property is no issue, but 20 feet from the side of my property, what is that leaving me with? Like, no space for my yard. Like, I'm not going to have any of my yard in this fence if I have to move it 20 feet from the street. So I'm I'm like, this don't even make sense. So I goes around my neighborhood and I'm literally taking pictures of everybody else's in my neighborhood that have a fence that's on the corner. Cause I'm like, okay, is their fence 20 feet from the street? Cause mine's, it's like, it's not fair if these people have fences that's on the corner. And you know, so I'm collecting evidence, collecting what I need to collect. So to make a long story short, because it's been a long story, how long have I been talking for 10 minutes? So the point that we are at now is we have to go to court on the 27th, April 27th. We have to go to court. And we have to basically, I don't know what's going to happen. The city is basically saying we can't even have a fence at this point. Because the company, the fence company, did not pay for our permit. They just left it sitting there. They applied for the permit, but they never paid for it. And they did not measure our property correctly to put the right setbacks of the fence in. So one thing that I do want to do is talk to a lawyer, because for one, this fence company needs to be dealt with. So I definitely want to sue them. For one, pain and suffering. Yes, it's pain and suffering, because you putting all of this on us when all you had to do was get the permit and measure our property correctly. You could have came out at any time to do this. You're a fence company. The first thing I asked them was, why didn't you guys get the permit? They said, we didn't know we needed one. They said that, but within the same breath, y'all went and filed for a permit. So if you didn't know you needed a permit, why would you file for one and just leave it sitting at the city? So this fence company has just been on one. And then come to find out that the fence company is shutting down. They closed their business. They literally is ripping people off, and they closed their business. If you look, I'm not going to put the name up there because, like I said, they're closed. So, but if you do look their name up on Google, it's so many complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint of what they have done to people, including similar stuff like what we're going through. So yes, at this point, I want to get a lawyer and I want to sue them, because I feel like we should not have went through all of this. Like, it's a simple fix. You're a fence company. Come out and fix our fence the way the city is asking you to fix it. And then the city are being, I'm going to just say it, the city are being assholes because they're trying to put more stipulations on what our fence can be. I'm like, so you telling me I got all this yard and I can't put my fence in the yard? I mean, I can't put a fence around my yard. I'm sorry, I can't say it. But you're telling me I got all this yard and I cannot put a fence around my yard. But everybody else in this neighborhood can. I don't understand that. So that's something that I want to completely understand. So you guys stay along for this journey of us dealing with this fence company. I will continue to update you guys. But yeah, so that's where we at now. Like I said, today is April 11th. Our court date is April 27th. And I'll give you guys more information after that. We're definitely have a lawyer, and we're going to see what we can do as far as suing this fence company, because they literally just left us high and dry. They stopped all communication with us. They stopped talking to us. They stopped responding to us. They're not even responding to the city at this point. Like, they ain't even listening to what the city is telling them to do. So the city is threatening us about a fence, and we're like, the fence company ain't even, like, you know. And another thing is, before anybody say, why didn't we do our research on this fence company? So what happened was, we just moved in, and the fence company came knocking on our door. They told us that, oh, your neighbors, they got fences with us and water system with us. So if you want to talk to them to get a reference, you can talk to them and then go from there. So we ended up talking to our neighbors, and they raved about, oh, we love it. We love the water system. We love the fence. You know, we went and synced their fence and their water system. So once we synced it, we was like, oh, okay, yeah. So we really just went by word of mouth instead of actually looking the company up and doing our own research. I felt like if we would have looked at the reviews, we probably would have been like, you know. but we didn't. So that's our fault. And I take full responsibility for not doing better research, you know. But and it's sad because my neighbors went through, they're not going through the issue bad as we did. They just had to pay their permit, you know. But yeah, so I feel like, you know, this fence company is, they just bad for business. But like I said, they have shut their doors down. They are not, you know, responding to anybody, me, the city, anybody. So now we have to go to court behind them. I don't know what's going to happen with my fence. It's so sad. Every time I look at it, I want to cry because I always wanted my yard fenced in. Like, and now you're telling me that I can't even get my yard properly fenced in. I have a lot of yard. Why can't I get my yard fenced in? I understand the rules of the fence cannot be to the front of the property. It has to be 20 feet back. I understand that. But as far as my backyard goes, I feel like that should be able to be fenced in. So with that being said, like I said, stay tuned and I will continue to update you guys on the whole fence saga. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.